Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Sammy Plans. In today's video, we are continuing with the second video of my goal planning series for 2026, where we are focusing on my intentions for the year and sharing my word of the year. And so let's go ahead and jump into this video and look at my planner. I have already kind of moved in, and that's one thing about these videos. I kind of do a lot of stuff behind the scenes and then just kind of talk about it, just because I really find time in my planner to be sacred and kind of therapeutic. And so I don't necessarily always like to film myself doing things, because then I feel rushed or I'm questioning how I'm doing them, and I just kind of like to do it and then share it with you and talk about it. And so that's kind of my style of how to do things. But here's my front page. I made this sticker by myself. It says Sammy's version, just because it's a nod to Taylor Swift, but it's also just kind of like a nod to the life I'm giving my permission to have. Like, I don't know, if you watched my last video, I talked about how my reflections of 2025, I put myself in a box a lot of the times, and I try to be different versions of myself for different people, for what they expect me to be or how to act and whatnot. And I'm saying no to that, and I'm focusing more on myself and what Sammy would do. And so I really like that little nod to that type of life I'm gonna start living. Let's go ahead and jump into our intentions. So I did this assessment, and this is my score. I guess we can kind of talk about this a little bit more too, because this will lead into my intentions. But this is the Life Compass assessment. If you're new to MäksēLife, you do the assessment at the beginning of the year just to kind of see where you're at, and then you kind of just adjust it throughout the year for every quarterly refresh. And so here's what mine looks like for the beginning of 2025. I am very low in a lot of places, but that is okay. That just means there's a lot of room for growth. And one thing I do want to note is the questions are, most of them are the same, but there are some that are different, or they're worded differently. Like, it's the same concept, but just worded differently. And I really appreciated that. I really like this updated version of the questions. And so definitely appreciate that. It really, I feel like, helped me see what I need to focus on and what's okay. But these are my scores. I'm going to stick with them, and we will just jump into my intentions. So this page kind of looks funny because I already have my word of the year, but we're going to kind of talk about that process. And so I've taped it off to leave the suspense. What is it going to be? And we'll talk about that. Here's my intentions page. I also thought this year it'd be fun to kind of like add some washi throughout my planner that kind of matches. And so I have this cute, I'll grab them. I don't know where the heart went. Like this one. My children were playing with my washi tape the other day, and I don't know where it went. So I'm gonna have to find it. But that's mom life. But I have this cute green one on the page with the gold hearts. And then I have this like leafy one and this like fun peachy pink floral one. But I thought they matched my cover really well. I don't know. I thought it was fun. And so I thought that it would be fun for throughout the prep work to kind of weave them throughout. And so there are these. They're fun. This one I got from Hankton Plan. And this one I think is an olive and Archer and Olive washi that I got. Same with this one. But anyways, let's talk about my intentions for the year. So after reviewing my reflections, which we already talked about, There's a lot of room for growth according to my life compass, which is true. And so I really wanted to think about what am I going to prioritize in 2026. And so let's just go through these questions. The first one says, what could I use more of in my life this year? And I said I could use more space for myself, space to breathe, rest, heal, grow, and be me again. That's huge for me because I am a people pleaser by nature. I just want to please everyone. I want to make sure everyone is comfortable. I take care of everyone. Like, that is just me. I am the caretaker. And I leave myself the scraps. And then I get frustrated because I just don't know how to cope with that. And then I had the realization that instead of learning how to cope with the scraps, you just need to give yourself more than the scraps. And so I am doing that. I'm making more space for myself. And that doesn't just mean like I'm making time to prioritize myself or to care for myself or whatever, but it also means like I'm making space for myself to like be in life. I'm making sure that I am doing things. I'm making sure that I am my most authentic self. And I'm allowing myself to take up space. I'm also a very quiet and timid person by nature because I like to observe my surroundings, my people, the environment before I fully engage. And I just tend to kind of be a smaller person and kind of hold myself back a little bit when I'm in public situations. And I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to be me. And so I'm allowing myself to do that now. I'm almost 29 years old and I'm finally accepting the fact that I'm not going to be the person everyone likes. And that's okay. I'm not going to be everything for everyone. And I don't need that in my life. I just need to be me and enjoy my life and celebrate me and take care of me and just love myself. And so I'm really excited for that. And that idea of what I need more in life. The next one is, what could I use less of in my life this year? And I could use less of rushing, pressure, and constant doing. I also feel like I could use less noise that pulls me from what matters, which is so true. I do rush through things a lot because I have so much I have to do. And then I just have this constant pressure that I always need to be doing something that is deemed productive, which drains me. And then I don't know, I get distracted by the noise and I don't do what I want to do, or I don't do what matters most at that moment. And then everything falls and creates chaos. And so definitely less of that. What characteristics would I like to nurture this year? I would like to nurture calmness, presence, patience, compassion, lightness, alignment, and self-trust. All of these words have power to them. And when I look at them, I kind of get chills. But I definitely feel like I could be better at all of these things. Because right now, I am not a lot of these things. And so I don't know, it's just some things that I crave. Like, I crave to feel calm and light and patient, especially with teaching and being a mom and just people in general. I feel like I could be more calm and patient and present also with my family. And I could have more self-compassion and care more. And give myself a little bit more trust, because I am a pro at questioning myself and my life choices, even though I shouldn't be doing that. And so definitely need to nurture these things in 2026. 3 habits I want to develop this year are me time, movement, and routines. Oh, yes. I don't know what I kicked, but I kicked something. This year, I will be more grounded, gentle with myself, and intentional with my time, energy, and emotions, protecting my peace. That is the number one goal, is protecting my peace and to take care of me. I will do less rushing, overcommitting, people-pleasing, and carrying everything alone so I can live at a pace that supports my peace. Which I really like how when I thought about these, they kind of go together. Because if I'm doing these things, then I won't be doing these things. And so, I don't know. I like that. I need to protect myself. I need to protect my peace. And it's not like in a survival way or anything, or maybe it is. I don't know. But I just want to make sure that I'm okay and that I am living the life that I want to live. And I don't feel just like a stuck victim all the time. And so I'm changing the script. I am the main character of my life, and I'm going to live my best life going forward. I will give myself grace for not having it all together, needing rest, for learning and growing at my own pace, and for feeling stressed. I know I'm going to feel stressed. I am an anxious person by default, and so stress is going to come. I'm not always going to have it all together because I am not Wonder Woman, even though I like to believe that I am. And I do need rest, and I do need time to learn and to grow, and all those things are okay. I've always had a negative connotation with all those things, and that's dumb because there shouldn't be. I will let go of the noise, comparison, expectations, and pressure, the overwhelm my mind, the pressure, I don't know what I was writing there, the pressure and the overwhelm of my mind probably, and pull me away from who I want to be. Yeah, I just need to let go of all that. I will embrace joy, growing, healing in the space to finally feel like myself again. And those are my intentions for the year. And this section right here of the planner is like, now reflecting on your answers, make a list of words that resonate with you and encompass the year that you want to have so you can have a word of the year. And so what I do for this part is I like to sit down and kind of brain dump some things. This is a much cleaner version. I have had many brain dump sessions where like I look up words and I write definitions and I write down different variations of the word. And yeah, but the one thing I wanted to do this year and that I've done the last couple years, but I never have written it down, is I wrote down the types of years. I always believe that I am going to have one of these 3 types of years. There's number 1, which is survival, and that is just when life feels full and chaotic and heavy. Number 2 is a growth year, and that's when you feel like you're coming back to yourself, you're resetting foundation, you're finding your footing again or finding yourself again. It's like a rediscovery year, growth year. And then 3 is thrive. These types of years are when things feel wide open and fun and spacious and maybe a little spontaneous. You're living your best life. Stress feels low overall. You feel like you're blooming. It is a good year. And definitely 2025 was a survival year. It was full and chaotic and heavy, and my goal was literally to make it to the finish line, which I have done. Just be with having a baby and other health problems, and just managing life in general, I have been in survival mode. And so I really think that 2026 is a growth year. And I kind of feel like they kind of move in a cycle. I feel like that can be true. But I feel like it's a growth year. I am coming back to myself. This is a year where I want to reset my foundations and rebuild myself and find myself again and actually do it. I've had growth years where I feel like I think I'm doing these things. Like my last growth year, I think I was doing these things. But I don't think I really did. I mean, maybe I did in some ways, but not in the way I want to do it now. So there's growth. And then I feel like thrive is what comes after that. And so definitely a growth year, which I do this. I like to identify the type of word because I want, or the type of year, before I identify my word, just because I want my word to help guide that year. And so if I know that it's going to be a survival year, I want a word that's going to guide that. 2025, my word was harmony. And I picked that word even though I knew it was going to be a survival word because I just wanted harmony in my life. And like small, even like the smallest harmony, like little rhythms that I found through postpartum that I could hold on to. And I did. And it was great. And so that's kind of what I want to do this year, with it being a growth year. And so here are my word ideas that I kept coming back to. Flourish was one of them. And when I saw this planner cover, after thinking it over, because I was going to get a different planner cover, I was like, you know what? No, they have a cover named Flourish. One of the words I want for my word of the year to be is flourish. And so it's like, maybe I'll do that. And so it's kind of like a little mind map, because then I thought of thrive, but then I was like, this really isn't like a thriving year. So maybe rooted, like I'm setting those roots, and then I'm going to flourish and thrive in the years to come. And then with rooted, I thought of being like aligned. I've used that word a lot, and I know I've said it a lot. And so I wrote that one down, and then that came balance. And with balance, I feel like there is that growth, because you can grow once you feel balanced. I don't know. That's what I kind of thought of. And then with growth, you radiate. And then I kind of feel like it repeats itself. I don't know. That's kind of how my mind worked through all those words. And honestly, I was able to cross out radiate, flourish, and thrive once I acknowledge, like, no, this is a growth year. I'm not going to be focusing on those types of things, because then that's going to guide my goals to do things that I'm probably not ready to do yet. And I was really looking at rooted, aligned, and balanced a lot and what I wanted. And so this is where it really came down to just me really picking a word. Like, I kind of feel like they all mean the same thing in some way. But when it came down to it, and with all my reflections that I have and everything, I decided that my word of the year for 2026 was going to be aligned. And it feels really good to say that that's my word of the year, because that's really what I'm looking for. Is I'm looking for an alignment in my life. I'm looking to align myself with the things that I want to do in my life, and to like be healthier. I want to crush this health journey that I've been telling myself I'm going to be going on for like the past 3 years and haven't really started. I want to annihilate my financial burdens of debt and just those stresses. And I don't know, I just want to be aligned with all those things. And so I chose aligned for my word of the year. And it has a little spot for you to write what that word means to you. And so I said that choosing a life that supports my peace instead of pressure. It's honoring my needs and making space for what feels right and true to be the woman I am becoming. And so I'm just really excited for this year and to find that alignment. And to have this goal, or not this goal, this word really guide my goals for 2026. I am planning on like maybe getting a bracelet or something to, I don't know, wear and to remind myself of what my word is and finding that alignment. And so I'm really, really excited for this upcoming year and to jump into writing my goals, which is what is coming next in our goal setting series. Is I will be setting up my annual goals for 2026, so you don't want to miss on that. But for now, in the comments below, please drop what's your word of the year. Do you have your word of the year yet? Do you need help deciding? Let me know down in the comments and we can chat words of the year, vote on words, whatever you want to do. And you could also mention some of your intentions for the year. What are you looking for in 2026 to make it the best year yet? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my planning content here on YouTube. And until next time, guys, I'll see you all later. Bye.